you want to accuse Cam Newton and Nick Cannon of creating a bunch of broken families, if you want to do that, then that means you also have to consider that perhaps the women, the millions of women who ask for divorces on a regular basis, lots of women ask for divorces. Am I right or am I right? Most divorces are requested by women. You also have to say, well, they're creating broken families too. Now, of course, they're going to come back and they're going to say, well, no, I had to because he did this and he did that. I was physically abused. I was emotionally abused. And I hear all that. I hear all of that. It sucks, right? Physical abuse, especially. I know somebody who's actually killed by her husband. So I'm completely sensitive to that. I completely get that. But then you get into the areas where it's like, well, we just grew apart and he was emotionally abusive. And nobody really asks, like, nobody really says, like, well, what does that really mean? Because I've seen relationships where somebody claims the man was emotionally abusive, and I'll be like, no, he seems like a nice guy. He told me that he's willing to do anything to be with you. So where's all this emotional? So my point is not to say that it's not valid, but what I'm saying is that women are not the only ones who have valid reasons to break up a family. Can we at least agree on that? Can we at least agree that if you believe that it's valid for a woman to say, I broke up my family because I felt like this, then why is it not equally valid? Why can it not be equally valid for a man to say, I broke up my family because I felt like that? Why is it that men are not allowed the same rights as women when it comes to relationships? I know y'all want to say, well, it's not the same. It's not the same. No, it is the same. Men are human too. Men have feelings too. I see so much commentary about the pain that women go through and women telling their story and sharing their truth, and everyone cheers that on. How often do you see men getting cheered on for sharing their truth? How often do you see men who say, gosh, I was, my wife left or she put me out of the house. I couldn't wake up with my kids anymore. I started drinking. I became suicidal. My life was miserable. How many people have sensitivity to that? Do y'all at least hear what I'm saying? Can you at least hear what I'm saying? Because I don't think as a society we talk about that. We don't talk about the pain that men go through when the breakup happens. Women have a whole vocabulary of language they can use. Like I see somebody's using gaslighting, demeaning, intimidation. See, what you don't understand is that women can do all that shit too. We live in it. Do we not have a society that works toward equality? Do we not? Do we not? Give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Do we have a society that is working toward equality for men and women? Yes or no? You about to, we have a very high likelihood of electing a woman as president. So that is done under the fundamental assumption that men and women are equally capable, that a woman can be president just like a man. Well, guess what? A woman can be emotionally abusive just like a man. A woman can be, I have seen women, that black women, white women, whatever, you engage in tremendous amounts of emotional abuse of men, and no one will talk about that. No one will bring that up. Everybody wants to talk about what women go through, but nobody talks about what men go through. So I'm not saying that Cam and Nick are doing what I would do. I'm not saying that I agree with that. Obviously, they're not doing what I would do because I didn't go make 10 babies, and because I don't want to pay all that child support first off, and if I do make kids, I want to pour into them, right? I'm not having no more kids, So I get that. I get their right to do what they want to do, but what I'm saying is that even though I wouldn't do what they're doing, I personally think that you should probably try to understand why they feel that way as opposed to just criticizing it. I'm just going to tell y'all the honest to God truth. A lot of men fear marriage because they see their friends walk into this building called marriage, and the friends come out emasculated, busted up, disgusted, sad, depressed, broke. And again, sure, you want, and here's the crazy part. Here's what makes it even more traumatic. My wife is a therapist, and shout out to all smart black women.